The Spare Key, Part 1. When their mother had her stroke, the doctors said she would recover, but not without help. Physical therapy, medication schedules, meal planning. Someone needed to be with her most days. And somehow, without anyone officially saying it, that person became Alyssa. Not because she volunteered, not because she had the most free time, not because she lived closest, but because she was the one who answered the phone first the night it happened. That was all it took to become the responsible one. The conversation that never ends, her older brother Mark, always ended calls the same way. Just keep me updated, okay? I've got a lot going on over here. He never explained what over here meant. Some combination of work stress, girlfriend drama, and a new hobby every 3 weeks. Whatever it was always just important enough to excuse him from helping. Her younger sister Kay had boundaries. She talked about them constantly, usually while avoiding eye contact. I really want to be there for Mom, but I have to protect my peace, you know? I can't pour from an empty cup. Meanwhile, Alyssa's cup wasn't just empty. It was cracked, super glued together, leaking, but she kept pouring anyway. The Spare Key, Part 2. One Saturday morning, Alyssa went to their mother's house and discovered that the meds were untouched. She found the bottles still sealed from the refill the pharmacy delivered 2 days ago. Her mother, sitting in her recliner, insisted, "Your sister said she'd stop by on Thursday." Alyssa's stomach sank. Kay had stopped by. She'd posted a selfie from the porch, smiling, sun hitting her face just right, captioned, "Quick visit with Mom. Family first." But she never actually went inside. Alyssa called her. "No, I was definitely there," Kay insisted. "I knocked and she didn't answer, and I didn't have the key on me. I figured she was sleeping. What was I supposed to do? Kick the door down?" Alyssa stared at the key on her own ring. A matching one sat on Mark's. One used to sit on Kay's too, until she took it off to make room for a cute keychain. Alyssa said quietly, "You were supposed to come inside." Kay sighed dramatically. "Okay, but this is why I hate getting involved. You always make everything a crisis." A crisis? Really? The Spare Key, Part 3, The Meeting. That Sunday, Alyssa invited them both over to talk. They came late, of course, each blaming traffic, exhaustion, life. Their mother dozed in the next room while the three of them sat around the tiny dining table they grew up eating at. Alyssa laid out the schedule she'd made: therapy appointments, med reminders, shopping lists. She took a deep breath. "I need help," she said simply. Mark leaned back in his chair. "Well, I can pitch in financially. Maybe. Some months. Depending." Kay folded her arms. "I mean, I can help emotionally. I can be her person to talk to." "She needs someone physically here," Alyssa interrupted. "Not someone sending heart emojis." The silence sharpened. Mark finally said, "If you're overwhelmed, just say so." "I am saying so." "Then maybe," Kay said carefully, "you shouldn't have taken on so much. You didn't have to swoop in and take control of everything." Alyssa's voice cracked. "I didn't take control. I took responsibility because nobody else did." Her siblings looked at her as if she'd suddenly become unreasonable. The Spare Key, Part 4, Breaking Point. 3 days later, their mother fell. Alyssa got the call from the neighbor who heard her calling for help. She rushed over, panicked, and tried calling both siblings. Mark's phone rang twice, then went to voicemail. Kay texted back, "I'm in a really stressful place right now. Can this wait?" No, it could not. That night at the hospital, after her mother was settled, Alyssa took the spare key from her ring. She put it on the table. She stared at it for a long time. The next morning, she drove to her siblings' houses, one key for each. She didn't knock. She just taped them to their front doors with handwritten notes. "You wanted to help? Here's how. Start showing up." Then she went home, turned her phone off, made herself tea, sat in the quiet, real, heavy quiet for the first time in months. She didn't know if they'd actually step up. She just knew she couldn't be the only one holding everything together anymore.